How's everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Threadlings Filmmaking Production Diary. I'm Miguel Ortega, and this is Tran.
Hello, everyone.
So, uh, yeah, so we're talking about the making of the Threadlings in Unreal Engine and many other programs. Um, Today we are extremely tired because we have to turn in this outline for the Voice in the Hollow feature film, and we turned it in. Or we are turning it in a few hours. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yes.
are trying. We had to.
So we are just like dead tired.
Yeah.
But yeah. So thanks everyone for joining. Let's see who we have today. T800, what's going on? Uh Rob, what's going on? Nat B, hello, hello. And Morris, hello. So
So we're quiet
yeah,
because
today
our
we're super.
brain is like super slow.
Yeah, it's already slow to begin with, but today it's like really slow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. We are kind of, I don't know, slow to begin with anyway. so,
Or
so it just makes it worse.
yeah.
Um, so I decided like if you're looking at like what is this weird figure uh that I have here, what I'm trying to do is I just want to get like more strange like extras in the background, and so I can just use the stream as an opportunity just to kind of do these one-offs, at least for now,
Yeah.
and we'll see how it goes. If they kind of feel like boring or suffering, well, I don't know. I think this whole stream is pretty tedious. It's a lot of work, so I don't know if anything's ever that exciting in the first place.
T800 says, admin, I have a question for you. I don't know who the admin is. I guess if it's us, you could ask us a question
Yeah, shoot away.
because there is no other admin anymore. Netbug, what's going on, my friend? So, yes. So, secondary extras that look goofy and don't take a long time to do.
Yeah, so these are supposed to be a little bit more fun. Um,
Apparently, they showed the Threadlings at
you mean the voice in the hollow?
no, the Threadlings, like the Threadling stream, they showed it at the Marvelous Designer booth
Oh, did they?
at Unreal Fest. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that. I guess they did say something, and then we're like, okay, and then we forgot. We're like, oh, okay, but yeah. Anyway,
Okay, so this question here is so beyond Tran and I. Please give visas to international students for 10-week courses. That's something you have to talk to Noman directly about.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
that's not even Noman. That's just like laws in the country.
yeah,
Uh, like I don't even think Noman can decide those things. Like the school itself can't legally do things without permission of the government.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. We told you we're gonna be slow today, so that's just
yeah.
you have been warned.
Yeah, so I don't know. This guy here originally started as a sketch from Miguel. And so we did have like someone else working on it. It didn't finish. And still think it's a cool concept. And I just want to continue it and just trying to give it like, I'm kind of lazy to do the hands though.
Did he have hands?
Yeah, he had like little fingers. It looked like he had 3 fingers, kind of like this. But can I just give these guys like mitten hands
You could give him mitten hands.
like that? I mean, not this ugly, but you know, something like this. These are background characters, so they can just be whatever we tell them to be. That's kind of what I like about them, because a lot of the stuff that we do um, on decisions, like that ultimately they lead to why the character look the way that they do, is that they're always like designed with like function and limitations in mind. And so the result is not just a artistic result, but a result that is like, wow, this is what we can achieve. And by achieving, it means like pulling it off in the shots, right? Because we always have to consider like, can we get, you know, we can do a really good still, but can we render thousands of frames of this and with the character like running around, moving, and so all those are the choices, you know, that we have to make in that goes into the final design. So they're always like functional designs, whether we want them to be or not. So what I like about doing these kind of weird, really weird characters is that you only have to get them to work uh, like in a couple of shots, which means like you can, or at least we can make them whatever we want them to be. And so they're kind of fun in that way. Um, Characters are really tedious in terms of like, you know, a full hero character has to go through a lot um, and checks and stuff like that for it to become like the okay, this is our final character. So these are kind of cool in that I'll just make it like whatever way. I do also want like cloth to be on these guys, so I don't know if I'm making it too thick. I mean, I guess it would just be like chubbier, which is not bad. Um, let's just merge these like really funny looking feet. You know, and I'm very aware this is not the most amazing uh, model in the world.
Not even coffee can help you guys. Nah,
No.
we uh, we we already live off of coffee. Coffee without coffee, we wouldn't even be talking.
I think let's see. Oh, that was a heavy dynamesh. Let's just merge these guys.
Let's see. Da, 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 da.
Actually, what I should do is polygroup them. Oh, the colors are so similar. And make sure that these have contact so that when I do that, there's no holes. Okay, so these are the best feet in the world. And then let's try dynameshing. Okay, even lower. Well, let's just dynamesh it like this. Okay, so and maybe I'll use sculptress. Kill the dynamesh. Hold on. Let's see, remesh it. Anyway, what you doing over in your screen?
Processing a bunch of mocap.
Okay, that's better. So now I can actually sculpt on this. I don't really want the feet to look like this. Even the concept, like Miguel drew this concept. Should I show it?
You can show it.
It looks like this. Uh, it has fingers. It's got socks feet. Miguel just doodled this really quick.
It's a winner.
Yeah,
Don't be jealous.
but I do like how simple it is because it leaves a lot of room for interpretation for me.
There's no room for interpretation. It's masterful.
There's room for for me there is. So, well, he's got sock feet, so we're gonna stick with that. Like, forget toes. I don't want to deal with toes. Um, okay, so that's like my feet. Let's merge. I do need a neck. So his thing doesn't have a neck. But that's not like practical. We do have to have necks. And that's just like rigging and stuff, especially if you're using an auto rigger, which
So
will
so he says happy Threadling Day.
I have Sohi. Okay, let's give the guys a neck. Let's pull the head
Bobby
up.
says he's a cutie.
Thanks, Bobby.
6.
What do you think of the proportions?
Looks
I
like
mean, it does look better without the neck, without it having a neck,
yeah.
but it has to have one, or else we're gonna have problems. Should I smush the head? Does that help it? Kind of. Okay, let's just dynamesh these two. I'll merge them down. Okay. Let's come back to these funny, not so awesome arms. It doesn't like, shoulders and stuff like that are pretty important too. Um, even here, I get worried about this, like the tightness of this armpit. So maybe, I mean, even Miguel has that. So maybe I'll just like push this back,
Are you making fun of my design?
kind of. There you are. So we just have like armpit space because I know that we need that for auto rigging. So I'm not talking about like, oh, this is cool. I don't have to worry about function. You still do, but like the amount of work that goes into the main characters is so much work. Okay, so he's got like a functional kind of pit, some gap here. I think I'm going to thin him out just so that I can make it fatter because I want the cloth. I'm going to sim cloth on it, and I want the cloth to be like able to be baggy. And I also might decide like, oh, this doesn't look so good when I put the stuff on because he might look really like super fat and like a bubble because it will get thicker than whatever I have here. Let's merge this down. And I will die mesh this. Let's see, I had like 30, let's do 24. And I'll smooth this and then let's just see remesh it. And this mesh doesn't have to be like amazing. Actually, I won't Z remesh it. I'll just merge everything down. And then we'll merge down. And then I'll just dynamesh this whole thing. Okay, that's really heavy. Okay, that's still pretty heavy, but we'll always remesh this. I'll make this like try to hit around 50,000 polys by putting 50 here. Here's a question here. Do you have concepts planned for all the extras, or some of them will be freehanded like last week?
The idea was that I was going to try to draw all of them. Uh, yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, what I kind of like what Miguel and I kind of do is like he draws like doodles, and I just like take it and go okay, and it's kind of cool because oh, look at this hand. I didn't even try to fix this hand. It's kind of cool because the stuff is really loose.
So it still only looks good because of Tran.
No, it just gives me a lot of room to interpret. Like honestly, the more that you know, I'm sure there's like character artists maybe or aspiring character artists um possibly listening on this stream. The more like detailed your concept art is, the more work it is for you because you have to really match it. This is above some of my buttons. So it just takes longer and your work will get nitpicked more because they really want it to match. And it becomes like a matching game and things like that. And so I don't really like using someone else's concept unless like, it's a paid gig because it's a lot of work, or if it's just like our own thing. But most of the time it's my own thing. I just want to make whatever I want to make as part of like the freedom in it. Do I think about the personality background for these extras or just what looks cool at the stage? I think all our stuff we try to put like personality. Uh like you don't want it just to be whatever. I mean, I don't know. This guy has some kind of personality here.
He has
It's,
personality, but at the same time, I think part of his charm is that he's kind of generic also in that they look like, you know, I don't I'm not a fan of these guys, but almost like the minions that they just look like you could have a million of them and they somehow work.
yeah. There are certain like rules, right? Like these guys can't the more generic they are is a kind of a good thing. You don't want them to be too unique. Because what will happen is that they'll just stand out a lot in a crowd, and you really just want your main character to stand out. So these guys are never meant to be designed that way. So those things are though like I don't really think about those super conscious though, but they're kind of like set in my mind, like some of these principles. Like I don't think I think about it that much anymore, but I am thinking about it if that makes sense. So there's like certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19.
Like they can look less functional, or at least what I would consider to be less functional. Um, but yeah. Let's see. I forgot to put like I like didn't give him the goggle eyes. So let's just try doing that.
Let's see, 20,
What do you think of
21.
my little dude? He's a little weird. I gotta
Looks like a winner.
I gotta shape the body a little bit better. It's got like some weird corners.
21. Looks good.
Thanks, Bobby.
Do you think about personality? I know you already read that, but since I'm slow, I'm
It's
processing
okay. Just repeat.
it.
I do that all the time. Okay, that's good.
Let's do this over here.
These kind of eyes, maybe they like kind of come out like this. One is like bigger than the other. I think I don't want to do that.
What is this? 21.
Okay. And then this thing has like holes. It doesn't have eyeballs. At least that's what I'm going to say. um, you don't get eyeballs. You get a hollow socket. I think the one thing that I wish is like when I'm using ZBrush that it would like respect the pivot that I give it. Like it's not really doesn't really respect that. Kind of sucks. And then maybe let's see. Let's do live boolean. Okay, let's pull it. Oops, wrong one. Pull this out. So I just want to boolean this
25.
and then shrink it so that it's like a little bit thicker. It's fine if it's crooked, I guess. This one's weird. This one's centered. The other one's not. I'll just pay attention to this one and then just mirror that one. And I'll make the Boolean mesh. Should we go append the new mesh? Somewhere.
That's good. 26.
Oh, like Boolean the whole thing. Hold on. Let's hide this. Okay, so now I should have this one as a new mesh. I get confused which subtool is which one all the time. Okay, so now I have this, which I'm going to Boolean anyway, but what I want to do is delete that side, remirror it, because it's crooked.
27.
And Miguel is like counting. Okay, so let's just delete these other ones. Okay, so here's like my weird thing. Although Miguel's thing has like this thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if I want to do it.
What thing?
This thing. You see how it like hooks over?
Those are cool. It's kind of like caught eyes.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. Do you really want it to be like hot eyes?
Well, they could look like goggles.
Um, well, it makes it harder. What I'll tell you what makes it cool though. What's kind of cool about it, even though it makes it harder, is that it makes it more unique. It makes it like less generic. So Caught is, at least in my opinion, he's not that generic because he's got like weird, some like kind of weird design decisions that were intentional, and that makes him like more original, whether you like him or not. Okay, let's try dynameshing down. Cool. Okay, now I have a character. Okay, and then let's z remesh it again. Let's keep it to around 50. and I don't have like this weird pumpkin mouth. I'm hoping like the eyes will kind of become puffier as I sim. It also doesn't have like nostrils. Let's just divide and I'll save. Okay, so let me just try like sculpting this weird mouth. How does it go? Has it got little? It's got little teeth. You know, like I'm doing this. I'm like, oh yeah, this concept is really rough. And then, so it should be easy. And then I'm doing it. I'm like, kind of doesn't feel like the drawing.
Because it's got to have
The what? The goggles.
it's got to have the goggles.
I'll just duplicate this. And the other thing that's hard here is this nose. So the nose is really tricky because it's really hard to keep the holes in the face if I'm gonna sim like Marvelous on top. So that's gonna be hard. And then here, I don't know. Let's do the weird whatever goggle crap. That's my drawing again. Or not my drawing, but what I have. There we are. So we can take a look. I know we used to have like other streams like where they were like sculpting. And here I am doing one and it's like it looks like this. Okay. Now he's got like a proportionally. Let's take a look. What do you think, Miguel? Um, the head is proportionally different. What do you think?
Yeah, he needs the little spikes.
He needs little spikes. I don't know like how to keep this whole because I know these holes are gonna disappear. Should his face?
It could just be textured. You don't have to put that in there.
Yeah, he doesn't have ears. I gotta Dynamesh whatever that thingy is. I should have kept the eyes. Maybe I can come back here, reappend this thing that I booleaned and delete the hidden. And then recenter this. Maybe the other way because I have the concept this way. And the hole is too big, but it's okay. All right, so here's his weird ears. It's also got like some kind of squishy thing. Maybe I can do that with a cloth. I definitely do not think it's gonna look exactly like a what's there. And then let's turn on perspective. And let's do the little spikes. I'll put this weird middle one. duplicate it over. And then we'll also mirror this one. Okay. Okay, what do you think, Miguel, proportionally? He's
That looks perfect.
looks fine. Okay, so we'll
Turn them to the side. The arms look a little flat.
they are flat.
Okay, that's fine then.
they are they are intentionally flat.
All right, that looks good then.
Okay, so let's merge down. There's all kinds of things wrong. I think technically on these characters, like not really appropriate form, things like that. Okay, so let's die mesh this. Is this merge? Oh, I didn't even merge it. Okay. I thought I did. Merge down. And then we'll dynamesh. Cool. And then we'll Z remesh. Keeping it around to 50. So I am paying attention to this. Netbug, you're scared. Okay. I am paying attention to the poly count on the base because you don't want to be too high. What happens when it's too high is that it gets, I didn't mean to do that. It gets heavy. So let's try 30. So it never really hits like, so theoretically, if this says 5, I'm supposed to have 5,000 polys, but I never really get exactly those numbers. So I put 30 and I'm almost at double. But that gives me the right resolution. And then hopefully the topology is a little bit better. I wonder if this guy has to be, well, I think the topology has to be low, but I wonder if Z remesh is good enough. So I still like this character still has to get rigged. It's probably going to be auto rigged. How deep do you think the mouth hole has to be, Miguel? Like a real mouth socket?
Not a mouth socket. I mean, they are like Muppets, but I would make it a little bit deeper because you know that the fabric's gonna soften that.
Well, yeah, I guess Muppets, they're like Pac-Man. I never looked at Muppets so much before I like started working on this. Like looking at their mouths because they kind of an inspiration. I mean, they are, but it's not. These characters don't have Muppet mouths. I should make like a extra that's just like a Muppet looking, kind of like an homage. Okay, so functionality, I need to carve back. But before doing that, I should try this getting heavy. I don't know how to keep the nostril, the cloth around it, other than like making the nostril kind of big. Hi, everyone. Hello. And if I make it big, like really big, the idea is like it will compress, but uh, it doesn't always work out the way you want. And Miguel said we can just like texture it, which I could. I don't know. Nostrils? No nostril. What do you think, Miguel? Should it just be painted? This is what he looks like with the nostril. Let's put it back. Okay, I'll make the call. Okay, so here's the face. And then again, the idea is I should be able to get this to be a little bit thicker. I should have made this hole smaller. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, now it's puffier. I just inflated that. And it looks a little bit more like kind of like that. It's still clean. These eyes have like wobbliness. Kind of don't mind, but kind of do. And then these goggle things. Like how do these goggle things, like what were you thinking, Miguel? Like they just do this?
Yeah, exactly like that. You got a winner.
So I do need like clearer planes though to get to figure out, understand how Marvelous is gonna wrap around this. If it's too blobby,
Netbug says he always thought the mouth was a mustache. He has like an 80s MacGyver mustache.
I'm trying to see it. I can't see it. I know how I can see this. Let's pull out the pen.
23.
Okay, so let's try the mustache. Okay, can I see it now? Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of cool with these no offense, Miguel, these like sketches that he does is that
She was about to say crappy sketches. See, she laughed because it's true.
with these basic sketches is like you can just make your own interpretation. And then let's round this out because I know I'm going to regret that. Let's bring this down. So what I want is when I'm looking at it, there's like some corners in the body. You know, it's funny whenever I do these streams, like because they're all based on the Threadling, um, and I'm like doing like art. I always go, this is like I actually never feel it's like totally my comfort zone. So like I do actually do sculpting demonstrations when I'm teaching, but they're never like this. Okay. And then when I'm on a stream, I'm making like really weird shit like this. But when I'm in the classroom, it's usually like a photorealistic head. But you know, it's how it goes. Okay, so let's see if I can smooth this out. And I don't know, maybe this guy has a butt too. You think he should have butt cheeks?
Butt cheeks are good.
Okay,
Let's see.
let's give him butt cheeks. Crack going on. Okay, that looks like a kind of like a pear. It is going to disappear. Sorry, more like a peach. It's going to disappear if it's not seen enough. So I'm going to accentuate the butt. Got some weird things going on here.
26.
Gotta have the cheeks. The mouth looks like a Hyrax mouth. What is a Hyrax mouth?
I have no idea. What is that?
I don't know. You can look it up. Okay, that's some cheeks. That's some definition right there. What do you think?
Those are some beautiful cheeks.
Yeah, like when we Mayo has like a butt, and we like had a deep conversation about the fact
Mayo
that
has everything.
yeah, we had a deep conversation, Miguel and I, like when we made that choice, like, can we give him this butt? Like, what does it mean? Is it more like, it has to be rigged? Not the butt, but his he's got privates. Like, do we do all that?
Mayo is anatomically correct through and through.
Yeah, he's the only one with the genitals. And that's because like I don't know why. Because
There was a scene before.
yeah, there was a scene before where his pants falls down, which
Hey
is
everybody, it's cheek time.
yeah, which it still could. But with this guy, we're just like, here's a butt. You just get an ass. It's a little wobbly.
It's even better.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be bad. It might make him like he's got a cellulite. That's right here.
It's even better.
It's because of topology, but do I have enough armpit space? Here, that's what I'm thinking.
If you're gonna make an ass, it might as well have cellulite. Let me see.
Like a real butt.
Yes, ma'am.
Does he have neck? Okay, so these things. And then I feel like the mouth has to be I'm gonna dynamesh, not dynamesh, re-mesh this to see if I can get something better. But for when I do the cloth, like if the mouth is like I'm actually using like the damn standard, but I think that it is out of topology. But when I do what I was saying was like when I do the cloth, it has to have like a way of securing itself, like some planes, like I was saying around the eyes, which I still think will be kind of a hard problem. Okay, let's move this up. And I just want to push this like more defined from the inside, because this right here will be really difficult to produce a pattern like cloth that wraps around like something that is not clean in terms of like the planes. And I'm really low on the topology. That's why it's hard. But I want to push it before I remesh it. Okay. All right, that's his weird mouth. His nostrils would be textured in. Let's duplicate it. And I'll save it. And let's Z remesh. I think I have to do it like higher. It's 250 again. which would give me around 80. Oops. Oh, now he makes sense. What were you thinking? Like, did it not make sense, the drawing, or just the character? Okay, that's I
Probably thought the drawing made no sense. I mean, someone thought it was probably thought it was a mustache.
Yeah, everyone. It's a Rorschach.
It's a Rorschach. You see what you want. I see a beautiful woman.
That's your idea what a woman looks like?
Yeah, she's just a little stubby, fat thing with no hair and a mustache.
Okay.
And big goggles.
All right.
Let's see. Let's see.
I think that's good. Now I'm gonna use this one's 94,000, which is a little bit denser, but I kind of need it. Um, it means like the base mesh has to be 94. I
Okay,
wonder if
so
there's anything wrong here.
save that
Like if there's pinching, because that will. Ooh, there is pinching.
animal
So that's not good because
and cheeks and and cellulite butts. Bobby's reminding me.
let's get rid of this. So this is not good because it's going to generate cloth on it. So I have to clean that out. And let's see if there's any other issues. So if there's problems, interpenetration or whatever, and then I try to generate cloth from it, it's going to backfire. So it's good I just did this check. Let's save this. Well, I don't blame you guys if you guys thought that was a mustache. Because when I first saw it, I wasn't sure what's up with his face either.
Damn, I'm just getting trashed left and right around here.
How much time? I don't know. You put like 2 minutes in this.
Probably less.
Okay. Let me import this in.
Nerves, curves.
Okay, this weird dude. All right, so let's do this process. So this is gonna suck. So in this version, I just updated. Um, it has all kinds of problems with this tool. So it's gonna be fun. And what I'm gonna do, the first thing is just split. Start somewhere where I think it's the center and cut the mesh in half. Okay. All right, so it ends here because this is what it wants to do. And I'll place that point here. Now, what's kind of annoying in here, which I wish they would fix this, is the fact that when I want to see the wireframe, and the wireframe is important for me because it helps me track where the center is. I don't know how you guys do this, but like to me, it's the same. Like if you take a piece of paper out and you try to draw a straight line on a piece of paper and you realize it's really crooked, or it starts like slanting. So if I don't have the wireframe on, I can't tell where I'm drawing the line. So then what happens is it gets really crooked. So that's why I have to see it like this. And I have to do it in sections like this. So there's always risk here. This is probably, to me, like the crappiest part of this whole thing is doing this. And because the tool is not, is difficult to use, or it is difficult to use, and it's difficult to see. It has improved, but I wish this would be improved. If this was improved, this program or this project would be done faster. Okay, so I'm going to stop here because I don't know where the middle of the line is. So the idea is I can just do half of this. Okay. Find the other half. Okay. And then once I have like half, I just mirror the other side because it's way too much work to do both. And you can see what I mean, but it's like hard to see, especially when it's triangulated because that's what Marvelous does. It likes to work in triangles. So your mesh, when you bring it in, looks like this. Okay. So let's connect. This here. Now there's like always a risk that these things don't actually connect. So every time I stop and I draw another one, it could not work. So I know that it works if I can highlight it like that. So this is working, which is good. It could also break later. I don't know why. And that's why I say this part requires like tremendous patience. We make a folder to save. Let's see. Hey, Dylan. You love how this guy's turning out. Well, the cloths part will be uh, the fun part. Now, I want to get out of this wireframe pretty fast, and I can do that the moment I have a line that goes in half. Then I can just not look at this mode because it sucks. It's really hard to see. Okay, so the butt. Okay, now it's half. Okay, so we'll look at it like this. Maybe I don't want him to be all white. Like, let's make him supposed to be darker. Let's see. wonder why I can't change the color. Is there a texture? No. All right, I think it's a bug because I always manage to change it fine. His feet float above. That's kind of actually intentional because I want to put cloth around it. And then from here, this part moves quicker. Okay. So let's check if I can still flatten. Okay, that means it recognizes. It doesn't recognize this one yet. Let's see. I know I can turn off the floor grid. I actually just forgot how to do that. Show grid. Let's save. And let's see if I can separate this. Okay, that one's a little high. Let me fix these lines. So you can still move them after the fact. They are a little clunky. Actually, they feel better. So, okay, there's some improvement here. And this update. They used to be really hard to move. And let's test. Okay, so that can flatten. This will not produce a good shape because it's a closed cylinder. So if you know how to UV, some principles has to be able to cut open somewhere. And since I'm on the feet, I know that I need padding like this. Okay. And then here, I can do all kinds of stuff. I'll just keep it simple. Let's do a cut back here. Okay, so that's one piece. That's another piece. That's another piece. That's good. I should save a lot as multiple iterations. So sometimes these lines break, and when they break, it's the worst because you have to do it all over again. This is not that complicated though. Like the buildings I did were really complicated. So they would break because there was just so much shit going on with the building stuff. I mean, and that's normal. Like if you make anything complicated enough, it's gonna have a hard time. So let's try to get this closer to the pits. I mean, how should this look? This can turn into like technically I should cut it out like this. But it also is an opportunity to do something else. Here, I think I can't open this point up. So that's the thing that kind of sucks. So it's like really not that edible. Like I just have to delete the whole thing. So that's the one thing that sucks a lot. What I want to do is this. like try to give it a more, okay, let's respect the neck. So let's do the neck first. That's why it was having problems. So this is pretty important. And I don't want the neck to be too thin. Yeah, so I guess you guys, if you're paying attention, I'm always thinking about function. Even when I was like, oh, this is easier. I don't have to worry as much. I still have to worry about it. Okay, let's move this point. And let's move this point. So wobbly neck. Okay, so it still does have those issues. So that's like, sometimes you just can't move the point. I mean, you can move it, but like not really where you want. Let's double check. Okay.
You have a few people looking at the stream, so they like what you're doing.
I'm making like a marvelous character. I
Pillow
guess
man.
everyone can kind of make their own characters now. Okay, so now this idea, this concept I have is going to work. It's because I just forgot about the neck. Wonder if there's ideas to import curves. Well, like what? Like if you do like CV curves, like NURBS curves. I guess I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's like I'm trying to think like what other program I would want to do this in. I wouldn't want to do this in Maya either. I definitely do not have the art of snapping NURBS curves to a surface very well. I do that sometimes for like hair, and I really hate it. So okay, this test. Cool. These kind of come out. These all come out. Let's save. Let's do, I think I should do the face last because I have a feeling that's where it's going to break. Um, Functionally, I do have to split this somewhere. I'm kind of afraid to do too many cuts where the legs are close together. But I think here I should cut it here because I know this butt is going to need some love. Okay, so now I have this back piece. This is probably good for the torso. Just do it as one piece. I can give him pants, I guess, if I can do it after. And then for the hand or the arm, I guess I'll give him a seam like this. Okay, it's getting slow, so it doesn't like whatever I'm doing. Let's end that line. Let's save before it crashes. Okay, lost my pivot. So that's the other thing here. The pivoting is really hard. So when I was doing the building pieces, it did not like it. So Marvelous likes to pivot in the origin and life size. Okay, so now I have like half this arm. Cool. That splits up. It still works. Now it's time for the head. Okay, so I have to cut these guys out. The head is most tedious. And one of the things I'm thinking about too, or like kind of concerned about, is like that the more complex this gets, that these curves break. But I really push this really hard on in this show. Like I'm super demanding to this program. Okay. It is getting slower. So that one move takes a bit to process. Let's make this shape. Okay. Definitely getting slow. I don't want to waste my real estate. So right now I know that I can tell that as I produce more curves, it's going to get slower. So that's what I mean by real estate. I'm going to spend it on the face, on like the areas are really difficult. So here where the mouth is very tricky, um, is figuring out how to cut this or like how it's going to be sewn on. And if I do this right, this character is going to function really well. If I don't do this right, it will never function right and it has to be rigged, which is what I don't want. So the idea is like not just to make a still, but make this character. I missed a spot. Undo. Okay, there we are. The idea is like I can just sim this as a piece of cloth on top of this mesh. And this mesh is rigged. And it all depends on if I can lay out the pattern well. So to me, it looks like it has to do something like this. The problem is I'm not sure how that's going to look. Um, step back. So this is where like I was like, oh, I need to have clean planes. And then I was like, now I'm looking, I'm like, my planes are not that clean. Okay, let's test. We're still good. Let's save this. So I have that lining in here where the plane turns. And I don't know if this is going to wrap around because it almost needs another plane like this, but like the face is going to look, the mouth's going to look very weird. I can just roll with it. And then Miguel might say it's ugly. But I'll be like, oh, you know, it's what we got. Okay, so you can see this could look really weird. But this might be more functional. Okay, so let's deal with this here. So I don't know how this is going to function either because it doesn't have clean planes where it blends into the head. But you know, we'll do it. I don't think I would get this right the first time. What I mean by right is like that it, you know, sims around successfully. Okay, it's getting slower. Like the program is slowing down. And that is a kind of a wobbly eye. It's okay. You know, I think like a lot of 3D artists that start using this program find it intimidating, but if you're really good at UVing, it's actually not that hard. Because when you UV, you have to think about how things relax, and you're just using the same kind of ideas. Like where you would cut your seam so that it could lay flat. I wish this was not eating performance-wise. Okay, let's save because I'm super afraid of crashing. What I can do is just not complete it all around, just in parts. I mean, I'm almost there. When it gets this slow though, I feel in my gut there's gonna be a problem. Okay, so I'm gonna undo that. And I'm gonna do one last one. And I'll worry about these things later. What I need to do is just cut this though. And I'll do the details of like these things after generating because I don't think they can do it together. And now I have to cut like along the face in a way that it's gonna unfold well. So naturally, like probably need a seam here. A seam here. Which takes a bit. And definitely a seam here. Now, the back of the head, this would probably need like a seam too, just so it relaxes. Same thing on the face. I might as well do it because it could just add. So cotton mail do have like stuff like this on their design. And they're not, they were never made straight from Marvelous. They're sculpted and whatnot. So this is a full Marvelous character. So I think this will relax. I might as well have this seam down here. What do you think of the seams?
I think it looks good.
Okay, so I need to, I can cut a seam like a beach ball. I
You know,
don't
I
know.
love the seams. The more seams, the better.
Well,
I think that's enough, but I'm just saying I love seams.
I do have to cut the head though. Like if you think about like how a beach ball looks, um, it's also like a, I can't put this in front. Okay. Like they're like this. So you get different colors, but those are also seam lines. And that's what you need in order to produce a round shape. It has to be these kind of shapes like this right here. And that's why I split it in half down this way. This might also need one. I don't know if that looks good though. Do you think how do you think this line looks?
Which one? The one going up?
Yeah,
I'd maybe line it up with the one from below.
I don't think I can because that one's at an angle.
Like what you're doing there is kind of cool, connecting it to the center. Then it is flowing.
It flows. It's less functional. Okay. All right. So I'm going to save. All right. Waiting for its process. I just want to get out of this tool because I think it's going to crash. Let's hope that it generates. Um, let's see if I need cuts. So I probably need a cut on this. Just so it can open. This is going to be a really odd shape. The goggle part. Technically, I might need to cut down here because this is such a weird shape. I will try and do it without it. And this is part that takes a little bit of patience. Oh, this has gotten better. So these would be really hard to select. In this newer version, it's not as hard. It's still hard though. So I think this tool is pretty amazing, just not as smooth. I think I probably use this tool more than anyone else though. I mean, I could be wrong. Okay. there were times when I was trying to select something that I was losing my mind because I just couldn't select it. So this is an improvement. Okay, cool. So these things here, I'll worry later. I'm gonna hit enter and hope that it generates. It's really complex. Okay, it made it. No error message. Pretty amazing. Now it's time to figure out what is what. So that's the head here. Because it just spit it out everywhere. That's the eye. So I was right that this is a weird shape. That is that shape there. And here, okay, so this is correct here. Okay, so that is here. So it like puts it randomly everywhere. I don't know where anything is. That's the mouth. It's low poly. So I have to fix this. That's the inside. This is that weird shape. It's also low poly. Okay, so this shape is not good. I mean, it looks like a, look at it. Okay. It looks not good. So I probably won't get like the result I want in the mouth. In the stream, I'll probably like do it again. What I could do is use more points when I was drawing it. I can still try to do that to see if it fixes it. But once it generates the shape, that's what it is. You can adjust stuff, but it's kind of tricky. Legs. So these basic parts are pretty good. The face is the one around the mouth area that's a little odd. What I'll do here, the first thing I'll do is decrease my particle distance. Let's bring it to 12. And that makes it denser. So the shape follows more. There's still some weird stuff. I won't clean it up yet. Let's mirror it onto the side. And then I'll sew everything in half. So when I laid it out, what it also does is help me figure out what I'm supposed to sew together. So everything in the middle should sew. And this should sew here. And this should sew back here. The legs are fine. Let's do the face. The eyes. Okay. This would sew here. And this sews back here. And I don't have the ears. Now, I think I'm going to change this fabric, darken it a little, and I'm going to set this to full grain, trim full grain leather that's more firm. Let's save this as a different file, and hopefully it should, actually it's not going to sim right because I don't have the inner eye. The ear, yeah, let's do those pieces. So I'm going to hide my cloth. Um, there we are. And let's do this last. So let's place more points.
Well, you're gonna have two extras done.
Well, I don't really like how the other one turned out.
I like them.
Okay, let's wait for it to finish. Let's cut this here. I'll also cut it in half over here. You can see how slow it is now. So those buildings I made would just get like, when you look at the hallway, all the buildings were made like this. And it took a very long time just to draw the lines. That was the majority of the time. And I don't mind if these are messed up or like kind of wobbly. I think I'm fine with that. I'm almost done. Now we're just hitting like a lag. Okay. This needs to turn yellow. There it is. I was going to cut it more, but I'm losing patience. And this is also kind of wobbly. I think that's okay. But I need that cut, and then I need to cut down on the cylindrical shape. These will also look better if I don't just cut it on one side. So if I come here, cut it here. That's why I put a cut here and a cut here, because the shape came out very weird around the eye. Sometimes when they look really weird, they still work out, and sometimes they don't. So let's cut that one. Now I need these two little thingies here. It should be able to sim okay without those things, but they do actually have influence. So I do want these. Okay. What do you think, Miguel? Do you think this guy's gonna look all right?
It's gonna look wonderful.
Okay, so that failed. So also the other thing is like, and this is pretty annoying. I like saying all the annoying things I think are annoying. Is that you can't end the line to itself. So if I close this point, it's gonna fail. So it just failed because I broke that rule. I do know this tool very well. So if this connected to that point here, you would have a failure. So I have to break it in two, which is pretty annoying. Normally it's not, but when you get at the end like this and I'm just waiting, I get impatient. Let's wait for this line. This is reality though. That's what I mean. Like if this tool was like improved, I would be able to get more done faster. Let's send that here. I don't know if it's gonna like if I can draw that line down in one go. Let's wait for this to turn yellow. One more cut. Look how long it's taking. Okay. Let's see. Still an awesome tool. It is. What approach would you take if the character has a mix of cloth and big hard surface parts? That's probably like the suckiest part. Um, I think that would be you can sim cloth in between like surfaces, but Marvelous is not very strong at that. It's like one of the things that is weakest at. So it's not something I would want to do. In a different pipeline, like at a bigger company, they would just rig it, maybe not even use Marvelous at all for simulation. Because it's Marvelous is like you gotta look at it even though it's a cloth program and it does amazing. Once it hits like a surface or another piece of cloth in the scene, it's like gum, right? So you gotta think of like the cloth kind of that's the way I see it. It's a little bit like glue or gummy. So all the clothing is like kind of made out of fabric that's like glue. And so if you were trying to sim like a piece of armor above this and cloth underneath, you're really asking for like a shitty time. Would I try it? Probably because and the reason why I would try it is because I'm not an effects person, right? So I only know what I know and I just try to make it work. But I would just avoid it. But a large company can handle this. I mean they have to. Like that's their like way of living. Okay. This is up here. These are the ears. So everything here. Okay. So I'm just trying to orient this in a way that's easy for me to understand. Here's the ears. These smaller pieces I'll put up here. So this is half. It's a tube. And these are the eyes. I don't have to mirror these or sew these. Let's do symmetric pattern with sewing. Now, because I generate these separately, this is not sewn. Let's show all the garments. a save project. So the pieces I generate later, like this and this, they're not sewn together. So I'm going to sew this. I'm going to figure out the route. Outer, outer. And I'll start from this point. So it's a little bit more complex. We'll do MN sew. And then I can't get the direction wrong. I think that's correct. This piece here goes from here. So I'm trying to understand the direction. And I'm looking at the blue dots. So here to here. This one's much more complex. I might screw this up. Let's give it a shot. So I'm trying to, you have to like, when you use this tool, I have to do it in order. So it's got to go from here to all the way here to here. And you can't like mess up the direction. So that's why I don't think I remember. Okay. Did that so. You can test easily by doing this. And if these lines are straight, you're good. And this is weird. This one's just kind of hard to see. That's one strip. So this one here connects this way, goes this way. When I first started using Marvelous, this was difficult for me to like track all this. And I would constantly mess up all the time. So this one to this one to this one to, where is this? No. Try again. This one. This one. Okay. All right. Now let's sew this to here, this to here, and this back one here. Let's save because this could explode if I screw up. And I would not be surprised if I mess up the sew. Okay. It made it. One thing I didn't do was set that this particle distance to the new pieces at 12. So when these are really low, right, meaning the point, like the shape is really blocky, it won't wrap around really well. This is actually did a pretty freaking good job. Now he has a bodysuit. Okay, we have a bodysuit. Let's save this. This is the hardest part. And then from here, you can have a lot of fun. So I can cut up more sections. The more seams I put though, the less puffy, like the more conform to the shape that he will remain, which is what happened on the last thing that I made.
Netbug says this masterpiece is getting cooler every minute.
Thanks, Netbug.
This little fat guy. So funny.
Let's layer clone this. Let's call this full grain.
I got a bunch of stuff done just now, which is good.
Let's make him pink.
Oh,
call this cotton sateen. Okay. And let's assign this. And let's sim. So now I just layered another piece of cloth on top. This makes it more tricky for it to sim in animation because I like literally just doubled it, but I think it can do it. I don't have to do it this way.
Nat is asking you, does it change the way you make fabric because it has to be animated? Do you have to be careful with things like pressure?
Oh yeah.
Tran usually runs everything through like Mixamo just to see how it behaves with animation before it's even like properly rigged. Just to see she could start seeing anything breaking. That looks horrific in a good way.
Well, the eye is crunched up. Okay, so this is a version of him
Oh,
where
that's pretty cool.
where it's really puffy. Let's grab these here. Let's put leather back on and keep this 100%.
That's creepy as hell.
So I'm trying to make it more firm in certain parts. Well, look what happened to ear. It turned into a cinnamon roll.
That's cool.
Yeah. He looks like he wants to eat.
Show his little butt. I mean, it looks like he has a butt in the front too now, though.
Yeah.
It almost takes away from it. Is there anything you could do in the front so that the back feels more like a butt?
Yeah. I can not layer clone these. So I'll delete one side, remove link to editing. So now it's an individual piece. I'll move it down here. Symmetric pattern with sewing. And then I'll come back here, edit these seams, delete this. So it's sewn in the middle onto the piece underneath. And so if I do this, that breaks that. And now it sews to each other.
Yeah, that's better.
And now the booty's back here.
Yeah. I mean, I see why you did it because you have this cool. It loses the form in the front, but I think it's okay.
Yeah. So here's one version.
Like maybe he needs little buttons or whatever in the front, but for the most part, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He looks like a hideous like vegetable.
Well, I can make some parts more firm. Like the eyes, I can put the cloth to be, maybe I shouldn't color code it.
I kind of like that they look. He looks like a hideous vegetable.
Do you think the eyes look good wrinkled?
No, I like what you're doing there.
And then I could also do it here so that this shape of the mouth is cleaner. So it's just a firmer cloth. He's practically like a peeled tangerine.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what I was thinking. I didn't know
Pumpkin.
what it reminded me of, but it's a tangerine.
Is it the head?
Yeah, it's a tangerine with like weird goggles and a cinnamon bun ear.
Oh, he looks like food. I want a cinnamon bun.
Yeah.
So here, this is where the simulation could be problematic. That's why I was talking about the pits. What would I do? So if I wanted to avoid issues here, what I would probably do is change this area. So I'm going to delete this. And then I already know because this cloth is already contact, right? And I just said the way you want to envision this is that the cloth is really like glue. I'll do that to this bottom piece too. So I'll erase all that where I have contact issues. And you can see like they touch. So what I would do here is come back and you can do cuts afterwards. So let's place that here. And then let's look at this shape here. And I can do this. Let's select this. Offset its internal line. Give this thickness. Maybe at 5. Okay. Let's do it larger. At 6. And I'll do the same thing here. And what I'm going to do is cut the cloth off. And I can just do that with a command. I don't know what's going on. It's just slow. Cut and sew. Cut and sew. Okay. So let's move this with some space. And then we'll cut and sew this. So all the area that's like really compressed, I'm just separating them. And now I'll grab.
Hey, cutie with a booty. Asylum wall guy. Oh, asylum wall guy. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know what that refers to.
That it's a asylum wall, like the padded
Oh,
walls.
I see.
Yeah, pumpkin head, peach butt. You see, he's a success already. Merchandising. Steampunk Michelin man. Tangerine guy is so cute. He is a tangerine guy. That's funny. Looks like he wants to eat you. Yeah, you see, he's a cute guy.
You know, the thing is like when Miguel does these drawings and I do my interpretation, you usually get like the most interesting result. It's much better than like I do think this guy is way better than the guy I made last week.
He's got more personality.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab
Dude,
these.
that's a fucking toy right there. Look at that.
Let's give him a big butt here.
This guy's gotta walk really proudly, right? Like they are so oblivious to life's problems. He's just walking around happy. Big old butt. What happened to his butt?
I haven't inflated it
Oh,
yet.
I see.
I gotta put air pressure. So this gray cloth is not gonna be puffy.
So it has some different looks to it.
No, it's just so that it doesn't compress at the armpit.
I see.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but it also adds to the complexity of it. It looks more interesting.
Yeah, so there's like functional things here, which I think I might have to even lower it more. But I will know once I test it. So I actually don't even have to layer clone this. I think I'm kind of being wasteful. I feel that if I layer clone these, because the fabric is right on top of itself, that it's going to have collision problems. My idea, or at least thought process, is that this puffs out so much, like literally, like volume wise, from the piece underneath, that it doesn't have collision problems, if that makes sense.
Show me the horns on the head for a moment. Should they be longer so that
Well, I have to redo the whole the whole character.
Oh, because that you modeled it like that in the original base model.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Miguel, take a look. Miguel, take a look.
That's fine.
Because it's hard to come back. I actually think they look kind of cute. Stubby though.
Yeah.
I can put a button on here,
Yeah.
and then the button can just hang off the head.
I'm just thinking about like the secondary animation. You know how we always say like, oh, you do these
Oh,
little
I would
characters.
just put a piece of, like I could put a tube and it just swings around. So yeah, so this is it. I'll probably the most I can bring this in terms of like detail down is to particle distance 10. It could probably do a little bit more, but the simulation would take a very long time, which might be okay.
I think we should call him Tang.
Tang.
Yeah, because he really is like a tangerine. He's a Teletubby. That's funny.
I feel like there's like a weird, these aren't sewed together. I forgot to sew these or something. And it shows.
That's funny. Stay Puff Marshmallow Man.
No,
Round little freak.
everyone's coming up with a name.
Round little freak is the poor little guy. That's how he gets bullied. Damn, Ethan.
Okay, something's going on here. What's going on? Okay, got it. Yeah, I forgot to sew it. So that should be sewn. The blue dot's not popping up. So I don't know what's going on. But let's see. That should fix that gap. All right, great. So there we are. Now I'm going to save this. And then I'll show you another route. And then we'll call the stream done.
Pootie Tang. Pootie Tang and Tang. I think Tang is it. He's little Tang.
Well, he's pretty good. He might be done. I have to do simulation test, but he's not jittering, right? Which is good. So if you use Marvelous, you know what I mean by jittering. Like it just wobbles. It's unstable.
These little guys getting attacked by moths would be the greatest thing ever.
He is cute, right?
Hell yeah, he's cute.
Okay, so I saved this already. I'll save it again. And I'll show you another route we can go. So this is a double layered guy. With like a bodysuit underneath, which is this gray one. Okay. And it is more work to sim that. Now, what I can do instead is like I can grab basically everything. Let's put this. I'll come back here in the armpit ones. And this is a single layered version. And then what I'll do is come here, pad this up so it's big, and then give them air pressure 50 here. And the reason why I use the full grain trim is because it's very
This thing's gonna look like those stress figures that you would buy back in the days where you squeeze the eyes out. Do you remember those?
that's what it looks like just now.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do this with the eyes.
You'd buy them at like a Dappy or whatever and squeeze the eyes and the mouth out.
And let's grab this and not inflate these. Okay, let's see what it does. Okay, so this is a version here. Now, he doesn't have the same stuff. He's completely smooth. But what would happen if this one was animated is that his face would literally do this. Like, so if he's walking, he'll like, that will literally be his face. Oh, I forgot to sew this. What do you think?
The other one is way better.
But yes, but what do you like? Pay attention here. So the difference is when this guy moves around, you have a lot will be doing this.
That's awesome. Because it'll look like just this blob of jelly.
Yeah, so it has a different effect,
I do like that.
right? So it will like
It's
be,
a big old fat, like soft pillow.
oh yeah,
God, this guy getting thrown against the wall would be so awesome.
but that's what will happen. We'll just walk around like this. What do you guys think? The other one, he won't move like that, like not with this kind of thing. But you would get,
But he would still have some follow through, right?
yeah, but not like this. Very, very like not like this. You know what I mean?
Like that almost looks like he's just responding to like what you're saying. It's like, oh, like he's just high as hell. Look
Yeah,
at him. He's on some acid trip.
he's not very there.
No.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, but I like that. I like that these guys look kind of stupid.
Yeah. I mean, there's charm in that for sure.
Nat wants to know, do they deflate if they pop? No, I think inside they're all like really soft stuffing.
Yeah. This one, I wonder, well,
It's time, by the way. It's 2:10.
yeah,
We have so much stuff that we have to get done today, so we are gonna go.
but here we are with this wobbly.
All right, so Tang is the other one. What's this guy's name? Let's see who wins the contest.
Yeah, we'll name it, or you guys will name it. What do you guys think? This character reminds you of a character in Dragon Ball Z
Called Lude.
called Lude. GT. I never watched GT. So I don't know which character that is.
You're always telling me how good Dragon Ball is. I have to give it a
I
chance. I've
I,
never given it a chance.
I don't like I you know what? I tried to watch GT. Couldn't do it. I like the original one when Goku was a kid because it's a very different feel.
Okay, so we're out of here. No names came in, so no Tang is for the other one.
Yeah,
This
this
is
one's
for the
for this guy, his cousin.
his cousin.
Yeah, he was manufactured a little differently.
His name is Wob. Wobbly. Wob.
Yeah, I'll call it Wobble.
Wobble.
All right, guys.
Like love songs here.
So this was successful. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Guys, have a good day. Thanks
Bye, everyone.
everybody for tuning in. Freak too. Damn, Ethan's just vicious today, huh? Bullying the little chubby guys. All right, Wob. Wob is good too. All right, see you guys.
Bye.